Welcome to another tournament match. We today have pimpkarp and Real Raptor in the Americas Conference. We've already seen pimpkarp. Spoilers if you haven't noticed it. He's moving on in the European bracket where he beat Maxa, and he will be facing, again, spoilers, me with the TrashcanTV budget decks. So, of course, it's going to be on me there to throw that match to hype our budget decks up once that comes around. But today he's playing Raptor. America's Conference Raptor looking for his first ever win. Hasn't won a match so far in this whole tournament. Last time he played Lnenko in the first one, so tough choice there. And today he's going to be facing pimpkarp. And JJ, what are we going to be looking at here with the decks?
Well, pimpkarp is bringing Bomb Warrior, as we can see already. Soul Demon Hunter, Cyclomage, and his Dragon Priestess band. Raptor is bringing Soul Demon Hunter, as we can already see. Weapon Rogue, Guardian Druid, and his Face Hunter is banned. And Demon Class coming out right away.
Some interesting lineups here. It's tough to really gauge who's the favorite in this one from a deck construction point of view, and even from a player quality point of view. Historically, we always consider pimpkarp the favorite because he's been a champ before. We know how great of a player he is. But Raptor has improved a lot since he started playing, and he's pushing Legend now. He's got the decks together, the competitive decks together, so it's gonna be a good one here.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised if we saw the one maker from Raptor here.
Yeah.
But there's actually a very interesting factoid here that we just found out, well, just remembered, looked up, how do you look at this before this match started, and that is that pimpkarp was actually the one to do the commentary for Raptor's only Trash Bowl match so far.
That was the last one, opener against Lnenko, which who was obviously the champion to be at that point, and
which, by the way, also means that we really don't know that much about the strength of Raptor.
We don't, yeah.
Like, oh yeah, he lost the first round, sure, but he lost to whom would eventually end up being the overall winner.
Yes.
So for all we know, he could have been the second best player in the tournament.
He has a nick for drawing pretty strong opponents, I think. But hey, that's the challenge, right? Fresh Caliber time, says pimpkarp, and rightfully so.
When is it not Fresh Caliber time?
Fresh Caliber time. And
we are maybe gonna see a 4-mana weapon come down from Raptor as well?
Yeah, this Marrow Slicer seems incredibly strong.
Especially with the Glaive Bond as a follow-up play.
Bomb right away.
Bomb. Actually, with the Eldrazi Warblaze on hand, that might not be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, no, he can take that, that's fine.
You'd rather draw him early and then heal it back, rather than draw like 6 of them back to back and just lose no matter what your health is.
Exactly. The important part for Raptor is that you don't want to leave that warrior time to breathe and develop, because if that happens, you're in for a bad time. So he's gonna have to start smacking face hard here. He's doing that correctly. Next play, you'll probably play the Glaive Bound.
And what do you play with your pimpkarp? I guess Shield Block is a good play. Maybe the Pirate.
I think you upgrade.
Right, never mind. Right, I didn't see the upgrade on the hand there. Obviously, that's
also smacking face, which is correct. So. This is. It doesn't look like a very aggressive matchup, but this is a super aggressive matchup. Because as the warrior, you have to play that way against the Demon Hunter, and as Demon Hunter, you have to play that way against the warrior. So.
Yeah,
pretty much lost.
This is an all-out bare knuckle brawl.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised, I was about to say, if we see the Glaive Bond, as we said. You can still play Eldrazi and Chaos Strike next turn to heal more. And I don't really see a great Chaos Strike play this turn, so yeah.
Should be Glaive Bound, I think.
I mean,
you could argue you want to draw, but I think Glaive Bound is.
But here's a question about how much do you ever worry about pushing 10 points of damage to the face, right? That's always a good play.
It's a correct play.
I mean, unless you're dying, but he's not, so. Sets up the Eldrazi Chaos Blade, Hero Power next turn very nicely for 6 points of healing.
The pimpkarp could force her here, pick up his Ankar.
Yeah, I guess you probably want to play the Pirate though, right? This turn. Unless you really play the Ankar right after you attack. If you
just Bladestorm.
Oh, Bladestorm. Fair enough. That is a good argument for not playing a minion. And that brings Raptor in a position where you
want to keep smacking.
Yeah. I think he makes the play as say, right? You just Eldrazi, Chaos Strike, and probably Hero Power.
Yeah.
Actually, you could Chaos Strike first, right?
You could.
Then play the Eldrazi. Probably
in case
still.
You draw Marrow Slicer.
You know, it's kind of counterintuitive to use your attack buffs before the weapons, but they're not weapon buffs.
Attack, yeah. Draw to a bomb instead.
I mean, he's gonna heal that back.
Yep, and there is a Marrow Slicer, so.
I think there is an argument to be made though that you would still want the healing. rather than
Probably, yeah.
rather than the 1 extra point of damage.
Yeah, that might be true.
So yeah. And not quite Gallopron time yet for pimpkarp. He seems to be pulling out the Ankar here. Cutting class, not looking too great on that hand. Skyrider is possible. I guess if you play Ankar, it's very likely even. Because you can play that Skyrider hero power. And that seems to be what it's going to be. Unless he's just not going to play the Skyrider, which is possible, but keeping it for the skipper maybe. Does just that. Sociologist, not really the most appealing thing right now.
Not quite winning this turn, but he's getting pretty close.
That's also a good point.
Soul Psychologist could actually just be the play. Just set it down, you know.
There's not that many fragments, but it might still be worth it. And if you do it, you're going up to 21, your opponent goes down to 8. Of course, hero power is always in play for
you're kind of disabling
warrior.
him from playing Gallopron that turn, just developing. So you put minions down.
And next turn, can Mirror Slicer possible for 7? If that is how you feel, not to mention that your opponent has to clear off the Sociologist. Yeah, that's probably just the best tempo play.
I like
here.
the Soul Psychologist.
Yeah.
Could argue you're gonna play Mirror Slicer this turn, and then next turn go Soul Psychologist for more value.
Yeah, but I don't really see it.
I like putting it down now. Yeah. It likes to go Kane instead. It's fine.
Kane hero power pushing 6 immediately, taking pimpkarp down to 4. Yeah. Shield Slam picked up here, not the most effective thing, especially since he already has one. Can't quite Gallopron hero power either. Cutting class might be forced.
Could be looking for shield block.
Because you really need to get some armor, right? And the hero power is iffy. Because that's just saying, I don't believe you can push 2 from hand, and knowing the Demon Hunter, there is virtually never a scenario where it can't. Picks up another cutting class, and boom.
Nope.
You could go also with the Skyrider for a taunt. But, oh, right, Kane's on the board. You would have to deal with that first.
None of that is it.
Skipper Raider hit your face and is also not quite it. Oh, Skipper Raider hero
and there's not enough.
Shield Slam is not enough.
There's not enough bombs either, so I don't think this is winnable. I think this lost.
I mean, yeah, this looks like a 1-0 for Raptor. And pimpkarp double shield slamming the Kane, which, I mean, can't hate on it, but Mirror Slicer hero power is 1 off. So, you know, there's something to be said about that. Picks up another skipper. Mana Feeder is not it.
You might play it still though, because you have draws.
I mean, yeah, I would think you play it still because you probably want a hero power either way, and you can still play the Mirror Slicer on top of it. And depending on what you draw, you just win. That's gonna be the play here.
Twin slices to draw.
So Fragment doesn't hurt. Spirit Jailer isn't it, but I think you still play it and the Slicer. And then the Sociologist play will actually also be maxed out. Actually, no, because he drew 1 fragment, but I think you can still play it right now, yeah. And putting your opponent down to 1, once again, not a spot you want to be at, establishing a board. It is Blade Stormable, but we've already seen one of those. And the other one not in sight. Deathwing clears out the board, but leaves him at 1 health, which just is immediate death. Gallopron gives 5 armor.
I don't love the Ankar. First of all, the Ankar tech, and also then just playing it there for Pimp. Why not go with the Wrench Caliber instead whenever you play the Ankar? Suffer more bombs. That's your win condition. You have to have.
I mean,
fast.
yeah, but in this situation, you would not have won just through the bombs either.
It would have been 3 more bombs.
And there is another skipper picked up. Yeah, I think the ordering there was incorrect, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just over.
Yeah, but if he had played
that way.
the skipper earlier, he would have at least cleared. But again, even then, it's like,
No, with the Eldraki hero power, it's over either way if you're just pushing hero power. All those pirates, we've seen the majority of the bomb wars in this tournament with the pirate package and the Ankar and stuff, and it's supposed to be anti-aggro, but I don't see it. I don't like it. But people like to bring it. We've seen Razvan have problems with it. Raptor takes the 1-0. So pimpkarp, you have to decide when to go back to the warrior, or what are you looking at?
Well, he does have a Soul Demon Hunter, and he just saw that deck can win. I'm not sure if that's the line of reasoning you go through when you pick your deck, but
that's certainly true.
Cyclone Mage being a complete change of pace, of course, and of course he knows that Raptor has the Weapon Rogue and the Guardian Animals, Druid of all things, still coming up.
That's a high roll, very high rolling one.
It's interesting,
especially with the nerf.
We had, I think, 2 or 3 people submit early. None of them had any of the nerf cards in their lineups. Meanwhile, people after that started submitting Guardian Druids.
Yeah. They're thinking that they're gonna double swerve the meta, right?
And here
is this Malagos actually for Raptor, not Guardian?
I'm pretty sure it has Guardian Animals.
Yeah, but that's with Omo. It looks like Malagos.
It has Ysera, which we already saw. Guardian Animals, Survival of the Fittest, Overflow, Exotic Mount Thunder. That's the top end.
Huh.
It's just a more or less regular one that just happens to run Omu.
That's weird. I've never seen that. I've never seen Omu when it's not Malagos. So he maybe he's got some plan. Maybe it's just for bigger pop-off turns, I guess. But yeah, survival. That's.
And of course, the Broom has been teched in a lot in these decks lately. It's interesting. Broom was one of those cards that was really underplayed in the beginning of the expansion and really came into its own later.
Like Wandmaker, which we also just see down there.
That's true. But Brooms have been included in various Libram Paladins and Guardian Druids. Like, all of the most popular decks started running Brooms all of a sudden.
You got a spot, put it in.
It seems like I was a bit early on the Broom trend. Though, that was of course because someone recommended it in the comment section of our YouTube videos, which, by the way, you can leave a comment on this video if you have anything to say about this game, this matchup in general.
Mana burn to disable coin overgrowth as a tempo play for pimpkarp there, and he does have the Magtheridon, which is the Druid tech. So that's a good one to have. I mean, he also has the Shard Shatter on hand, and he's going to keep that if he knows what's good for him until he needs it.
Yeah, and Eldraki possible this turn. Yeah. Seems like we're going to see it. Just Eldraki hero power. He's not even going to do that, but because he's not going to play attack. I still like pushing the hero power, even if it doesn't do anything, but there's no reason to do it. And is it going to be Coin Teacher's Pet?
Yeah, I guess.
Is that the levels we're going to? And
so you have 2/5.
This Guardian Druid is really bad when it draws the wrong cards.
Yep. No overgrowth, no recruit.
It's really good when it draws the right cards, which is why it was nerfed, but when it draws the wrong cards, it's just absolutely nothing. And a bit of an awkward pickup here for pimpkarp with the other weapon. Seems to just want to hit in and play the Glaive Bound.
I think Glaive Bound is the play.
Leaving Raptor with a random 3-drop. And it is a Wasp. A weaponized...
Twilight Runner makes sense.
Now, notably, it doesn't have Rush, of course, but it does still have Stealth. If you want to be really aggressive about it, you could also Lightning Bloom out the Broom, but I don't think it's worth it.
I don't think that's necessary.
I mean, it would then allow you to immediately draw the cards and kill the Glaive Bomb.
You probably want that to either reach for Ysera or Survival later.
Ironbark would be a possible way to clear right now, but also not the most effective thing either. I think Twilight Runner makes sense. It's going to be Ironbark instead. Probably going to see the hero power as well. Pushing some damage to face, but more importantly, getting 1 point of armor.
pimpkarp can kind of afford to take it slow here, because he knows he has that Magtheridon at 1 point.
Yeah, and once he actually gets some Soul Fragments shuffled, he has the Shadow Shard to kill it, or at any point also really the, what was it called? Not Blade Fury, Blade Dance, that one. So, very versatile way of dealing with that.
Play your Marrow Slice or get your fragments going, I think.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, especially since, as we said, that's one of the ways you can activate the Magtheridon. With both actually the fragments and the weapon. So for 6 mana he can now play the Magtheridon clear, or for 7 mana, whichever one he prefers. Twilight Runner seems to be the play now, and looking at the iron mark here, but not playing it, of course. Lapidary is possible if you want to push really hard right now. Otherwise, you could also Hero Power and Mana Feeder, but then if you don't draw anything good...
I see the Lapidary, I think it makes sense. Get the Druid like to 15 health.
Lapidary and Blade Dance.
Oh wow, denying the draw here.
That's an interesting point, especially,
I like that.
as we said, the Druid is not very good when it doesn't draw the right cards,
That's
and
true.
clearly he hasn't yet.
He's going on the offensive, saying, I'm just going to do this.
You haven't drawn the right cards yet, so I'm going to deny you more cards.
Zero coming down with the Iron Bark.
And now, even more so, the card draw is really relevant, because those portals can turn a game around quickly. Now, of course, McThard deals with that,
still available.
but without draw, this might take a while until it becomes necessary. Though, of course, you can't really push through these areas easily either.
Could go here, power double, Mana Feeder, just look if you could draw silence. If he plays, I'm not even sure if he does play it.
We can look that up.
That's a Soul Psychologist there.
Pimpkarp's Soul Demon Hunter does run one Consume Magic.
And you could give it one more shot with the draw.
Yeah, though if you do, of course, that also means you're kind of committing to probably attacking if you don't. So that's a bit awkward either as well.
There. Another Twilight Runner.
Now you might want to broom it though for the extra portals. Or even the Lake Thresher broom is interesting. It doesn't quite clear the Lapidary, but...
Well, you're with the broom, it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, you can run the broom in, that's true. Why keep it? After that, it's worthless anyways. So yeah, clearing off the board, pushing 5 to the face, and still retaining that big taunt. I mean, I like protecting taunts. It's not a bad play here if you're going defensively. Wandmaker is a way to find the silence as well, but
could be a consumer.
The Sociologist is probably going to be the play. Let's see, he has... Ooh, never mind, right?
You'd have to Soul Shear.
He hasn't really shuffled that much. I mean, Soul Shear, Sociologist, he's going to get...
He says McThird on times. He's 3 cards on hand. Overloaded.
That's a good...
Big guy.
Well, he's not overloaded next turn. He was overloaded this turn, but still. And what you going to do?
I like this idea, because the weapon and the McTherdon represent exactly 16 damage. So Raptor has to do something about it. On the spot, basically. So he's gonna hit him in the face, and then it's a 12th up there.
And the Wandmaker for good measure. And there is the Consume Magic just in case. Oh, sorry, Manamert. I'm...
Lot of good cards, though.
There's a lot of those, huh?
There's nothing to do. Pimpkarp with the foresight saying the Druid might not have an overflow, might not have anything. And he's right. And
due to both the Wandmaker or the Hero Power, of course, the Druid armor doesn't really help at all. We see some extra stats being put down there for some show.
Did keep the McTherdon in and gets rewarded for it. I did not. I took it out of... Actually, I took it out of my Demon Hunter for the tournament when Evan Druid got nerfed because I thought there's not going to be enough Druids. Pimpkarp says, I might probably face a Druid one time down the line, and he does, and he kept it in, and he gets rewarded. So we're tied up at 1 here.
Yeah, and Soul Demon Hunter 2-0 in this matchup.
Damn. It's looking good so far. Now someone has to go find a win with something else. And if you're Pimpkarp, maybe you go back to Warrior. Maybe you're saying, let me just play my strongest deck and see what I can do.
You would think it does well against the Rogue. I don't know as much about the Druid, but... I don't... Oh yeah, the Druid likes drawing though, so I feel like the bombs might be strong there. Of course, the boom...
You have a bunch of AoE clearage too, like against Druid, you might even just keep a Brawl or a Bar up on your starting hand. That's the matchup we're gonna see.
So yeah, that's definitely an interesting one, I think. It might be the most interesting matchup that with the remaining decks we could possibly see here.
He has double range caliber there.
Not exactly it, but he might keep one.
You'd probably keep one, yeah. Just make sure you have one.
You could then even keep the cutting class for refill if you have the upgrade as well.
Yeah.
It only costs 1.
Oh, it picks up an Anchor too. That already looks much better.
And has the Sky Raider on 1, so double status potentially here.
There's a lot of potential for Raptor as well.
Ooh, how do you feel about Gift of the Wild? No, that's not it. So Lightning Bloom obviously makes sense here, and Infestation is an interesting pick, but I think he might prefer Ironbark here. That's the one that goes in the deck by default, so why not pick it? Picks up the Savage Roar, saying that I might want to push some damage fast against that warrior, but he doesn't expect it. Wouldn't be...
It's really important that he draws substance cards, though.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
And interesting, once again, pimpkarp keeping the Sky Raiders for the skippers, presumably.
He needs to top deck like an overflow and just win.
Ooh, there's an Armorsmith too, so you're not going to run out of armor anytime soon. Having Armorsmith, Skipper, and another proc there. And drawing Pirates already. Picks up another Sky Raider. Guardian Animals.
Oh, there's the animals.
On
Play
hand,
it.
and double Lightning Bloom.
Play it.
I mean, why not, right?
Just do it, Raptor.
Do it! Just do it!
This is the turn to do it. He has to, right? It's too good not to. That's the perfect one.
Oh, he's thinking about it.
Yeah, you're onto Bladestorm, but come on.
Well, I mean, depends on what you get, right? They don't all have the exact same health. And also, something we know, Caster Vision and all that.
No Bladestorm.
No Bladestorm.
I think you have to do it. I think it's too cool.
Like, this is what the deck is built for.
There he goes, firing.
I'll just play Savage Roar and Broom in that order. No. No, he plays the Guardian Animals, who would have thought? Lake Thrasher, Twilight Runner. Still no particularly great removal. Now there is the Skipper, but you can only play 2 minions with it.
That's not good.
So that doesn't do it either. Picks up Horde Pillager, I think? Yep. And, well, I guess it could have been second Skipper as well. And seems like he's thinking about the Pirate there. He was hovering over it at the very least. And he's still thinking, so it doesn't really help you that much to put it on the board, but it does presumably take 1 health off of one of the minions. So there's 2 ways of looking at this. Now, he does not have the ability really to play more minions on the Skipper turn unless he draws another 1-drop, so he decides not to do it.
Ace Aerodron is like way out of reach.
Room doesn't make sense, but I think you just go for it.
Yeah, see what you draw. You might not play anything this turn.
Yeah, no, this is just a pass, I think. And there is, what is it, Skipper, Armorsmith, Sky Raider, as for maximum impact still only deals 3. Wrench Caliber is not quite it either. So, becoming, once again, just the slugfest here. And that Savage Roar might actually end up becoming relevant. Not this turn exactly, but...
No, I think just Wild Growth here.
Like 9, 10, 16. I mean, yeah, it's probably Wild Growth, maybe plain Ironbark for good measure. But... that Savage Roar might like suddenly win him the game at some point. You don't expect it.
Yeah, that's true. Pimpkarp has no reason to think that it's there.
And that, especially in a tournament setting where you know your opponent's deck lists, those generated cards can be a real perk. Oh, right. The Wild Growth makes it so that...
He does go with that.
Goes with it now, which is enough. And doesn't even play the Ironbark, if I'm seeing this correctly. Which, I mean, not a strong argument for doing it, but would have been 1 extra damage and made the health even more uneven, made it harder for your opponent to push face. Shield Block, not a great pickup here for Pimpkarp. It seems like Pimpkarp's Womber just isn't doing too hot in this matchup.
Don't get the pirate package, man. You want your Borrows, and you want your Brawls, and Blade Storms, and your Sword and Boards, and Shield Slams. I don't understand the pirate package.
And he's thinking, and having like 10 damage showing for Raptor means that Hero Power isn't going to do it, and Galakrond is out of reach. Shield Block definitely gets you closer. That's not going to do it either. Well, it is going to do it for the upcoming tournament. It's not going to...
You might use the...
Oh yeah, now you can... Now you might be able to get something done with the Skipper. You get some extra armor out of it as well, but... It's nothing spectacular. Plays the Sky Raider, and second Sky Raider. There is a green skin.
Yep. That's not gonna do enough either. But he does gain some armor at least.
Hitting the Runner, interestingly enough, denying the draw rather than hitting the Thresher, which can clear off the board.
I think that makes sense.
Thresher is
Go Sarah here.
4. Ironbark is 5. Hero Power is 6. No, there's nothing there.
Innervate Sarah.
Innervate Isera, put the Ironbark on the Isera, maybe clear off the board even. I mean, as a matter of fact, probably do. Denying future potential Armorsmith value. And just winning through a dominant board in a turn or two. Like this deck is very good at doing. So yeah, he does seem to want to take the trade here, as I said. Ironbark still in the hand, notably.
Yeah.
And he's thinking about the face.
Always gotta think about the face. Yeah.
It's the face.
There he goes.
No Ironbark inside either. There's a Brawl picked up for Pimpkarp, and
You might like the Savage War.
what?
You might not Savage War, the Battle Rage.
The Battle Rage, yeah, for 3 cards. That's true. Now, notably, he's only at 6 mana, so if he does use the Battle Rage, he cannot Brawl. Shield Block would definitely get him out of lethal range immediately, but this is definitely not a great spot to be.
Man, this is a complicated match, dude. It might be the toughest one we've had so far.
I might take the Shield Block here if I'm Pimpkarp. Giving you some extra armor. You can... Does he have 1 point of damage somewhere is the question, because he can take some good trades to get even more armor, but he would like that extra point of damage probably to get rid of the Thresher at least. Battle Rage for draw is possible. I think you want to play the Shield Block first to guarantee that you have the armor, and if you draw something... Because what would you rather draw and play than...
Oh, there's a skipper.
There's a Blade Storm too. It's gonna be Shield Block.
So double Blade Storm picked up now. And
Lays the Skipper down.
yeah.
And didn't seem like he got his attacks in. He was aiming at the Thresher with the Sky Part if I saw that correctly, but didn't wipe
Let
it
him know if you
I think.
want to.
And let's see, 8, 9, 10.
Could set up an overflow turn here. See if we can find maybe a Mount Seller just for another big turn.
Now, notably, of course, the Thresher once again is able to take out the entire board. We'll do that too. Gets him 3 armor. Now up to 16 again, and plays the overflow. So that's, of course, the reason why I attack with the Thresher first, to get the maximum amount of healing on your side. And let's see what he picks up. Lightning Bloom is a good card. Dream Portals are great.
Definitely want to see portals.
Twilight Runner, not necessarily it. And it appears that there was only 1 portal here. Wow. I mean, hey, it's a board. Crystal Power to heal himself. Not wanting to overdraw next turn, I think, was the motive behind that.
Yep.
Though still no Ironbark Blade. I find it interesting how long he's holding that. And
Pimpkarp got to pick his removal of choice here.
Bladestorm kills 2 things, as does Brawl. Now, if you Bladestorm right now, that does definitively leave 2 minions because of the 3/4 coming out of the Dragonmaw Skystalker.
Would have maybe preferred that. I guess this is the better outcome.
I mean, yeah, the Isera has a decent chance of dying. The Guardian Owl's picked up, but I don't think there's anything in the deck.
That's gonna not pull anything, no. Maybe a Teacher's Pet.
Maybe the second
might as well play it
Teacher's
from
Pet.
hand.
Yeah, so survival makes sense, and 4 off at this point. Could use Ironbark to be 3 off, but again, that doesn't make a huge difference. Gallopern on hand for 5 armor, which is not going to be enough.
Might have to go Deathwing.
Deathwing clears.
Or double Blade Storm is also terrible. But you get a hero power, and I think Deathwing is correct though.
For them from hand, not quite there for Raptor. He can only push the one from hero power, really. Nothing in this deck has charge, of course. You might just play 2 minions here. Improvise your own guardian animals.
Pretty much.
Ooh, right, 5/5 brooms. Those are also pretty big, but I don't see why you would play him right now. Might as well just play the runner. Very much looking at the broom.
Yeah, I guess against Bladestone.
But the runner still doesn't have the ejection. Does it have the? It doesn't have the.
No,
E,
but
it has one less.
No, but it's the teacher's pet takes a lot more. Just go with that. That's a Dr. Boom drawn. That's not.
Can't play it on the same turn as Bladestorm. Seems that Bladestorm will be the goalie, but you still have to deal with the 8-1 remaining teacher's pet.
Okay. Sapper is an interesting choice.
Okay, yeah, but the Sapper. If you Bladestorm and Sapper, it's just gonna return 1 minion. It's gonna be unbuffed, but
And then you Bladestorm.
Alright, he does have 2 Bladestorms, yeah.
Oh, Brawl? Okay, Brawl. That's interesting.
If the Sapper lives, you're really happy. If it dies, the board is gonna be empty. Well, I guess there's a random 3-drop,
It's
which is a
desert hair. So
is it gonna be returned?
No,
Oh,
it's the Twilight Runner.
the hair stays
But it's winning.
on the board.
Two Iron Barks and a Hero Power is winning.
Whoa, that is true. We talked about the Iron Barks as
He
burst
kept-
damage. Does he see it though?
He should see it. The Iron Bark, Hero Power for 4 damage.
Because he keeps hovering over that Twilight Runner and ooh, okay, that
He
still
should know this
fits.
is
That
winning.
still fits.
He should know this is winning.
He still has the mana. He still has the mana.
There's 2 Iron Barks.
We
They
know-
buff the attack.
We know he's made flashy plays before.
There we go. Okay,
when he
he
didn't
got
need
it.
them.
He got it.
And he found it.
Thank
This is a nail biter.
Thank God. He got it done with the Druid. This match has been going on for a while already. And
Despite being very one-sided for a long time at the end there.
these guys are going for it. So 2-1 for Raptor. He's 1 game away from the big upset. And he has to get it home with the Rogue now.
Now, a while ago I would have said that the Rogue is definitely the weakest deck. After the Guardian Elves nerf, I'm not as sure of that. That being said, Bomb Warrior has, no pun intended, bombed a bit for pimpkarp here, and Cyclomage we haven't even seen yet, so
Man,
at least not from pimpkarp.
Imagine if pimpkarp actually advanced in Europe and then the cooler pimpkarp in America actually lost first round. Wow. That'd be crazy. And that,
Well-
that would be a career day for Raptor too if you won these matches.
Yeah, and of course at that point you can really say a thing or two about the TrashcanTV budget decks, huh?
Yeah, you gotta keep a cool head though if you're a Raptor. You have 2 games to win one with the Rogue. You're confident in what you're doing. So just keep doing it.
Notably, pimpkarp gets the coin. Cyclone Mage does like its small spells, which the coin certainly is one,
Self-sharpening is a very good one for Raptor.
which was his only keep as well. We saw he threw away the Volpira and the Evis. Pimpkarp still selecting his cards, though that hand already looking very interesting with the Solarian, the Cram Session, the Evocation, and the One Thief.
That's a hell of a start.
Yeah!
Pimpkarp. And the
Throws away
Primordial
the
Studies with it.
Evo in
God.
favor of the studies that he picked up. Which,
Stacked.
oh, Spy Mistress picked up for Raptor. Both hands not very bad at all.
Both hands stacked. Crazy.
And
Sure,
we might just see the studies here. That is what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I take it for the Cobalt. It's the cheapest.
Dude, Solarian is so much better. It's crazy.
It's a class legend, that's why it's better.
I mean, yeah, okay, I'll give you that. But there also was for a while the one that buffed Cthulhu whenever he cast a spell that just happened to also be a 2-3 or a 3-2 or something, which is also straight up better. Solarian for 1 mana and One Thief as a follow-up? Are we gonna see it? Is it gonna be the Geomancer and One Thief combo? I don't see why, actually. You want your Solarian to die. He might just play both spell damage, but that's also awkward. Oh, Coins of the Cramp Session. That's interesting as well.
Already a giant.
Backstab seems very plausible
Yeah, you
here.
can backstab and self-sharpening.
And that sword will be able to give him a free Dread Corsair next turn. Which, you know, you don't necessarily care about the taunt as much in this matchup maybe, but you do like the attack stats. Ooh, Evocation picked up once again by pimpkarp.
Hand.
Is it gonna be Geomancer One
Unreal.
Thief? Just taking it a bit slow here.
It might be. You might also want a hero power.
I mean, Hero Power makes a lot of sense. One Thief is a bit awkward, as is Evo with no mana left afterwards. And no combo for the thing, and there we go. If you attack first, you get a free Red Corsair and a 1 mana cutting class. which, you know,
You want
both
that.
things that you probably like.
You'll take it.
Actually, interesting point here to be made. Both decks really like their cards being cheaper than they're supposed to be, huh? Picks up a Sneaky Delinquent on top of it. And, well, there's some stuff for pimpkarp. All he's really missing is Sorcerer's Apprentice at this point.
Iceberry might be useful.
Iceberry, good stall out as well, yeah. And One Thief seems to be what he's playing.
Yeah, he's looking for the Ray of Frost, of course.
Arcane Breath with the spell from the Geomancer would kill the 3/2, but he doesn't quite... He can't quite pull it off this turn. Plays the Wandmaker as well.
Another shot at the Ray of Frost here.
Can, of course, not play it this turn, but it would be great with a Shinvala. Picks up, what was that? Oh, it's not Arcane Breath. Cunning Pass still costing 1. If you attack first, it costs nothing.
But you might want to find himself a buff here for the attack instead. Sage time. Another one.
And Spy Mistress. I mean, why not?
Yeah, just start hitting. All face, I think. There's no, no way you don't.
You'll love to see it.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Leaves him with a 5/2 weapon with pimpkarp being at 9 health.
Yep. There's a Cone of Cold. This needs to all go. Everything needs to go.
And I think we're going to see the breath on the Delinquent here. Meaning that there is no immediate extra damage that we can see for Raptor, but Secret Passage might be able to find him 4 points of damage. It's not a lot.
Yeah, so Eviscerate's in the deck.
You can play the Corsair first if you feel like it, but I think you want to Passage for the win here, because we know that
Corsair for it, yeah, for sure.
that the Cyclomage is the premier card of the premier deck of the generated by meta. So you never know what's going to happen, so you might want to win fast, and the Evis is there!
There's all sorts, too. There's a Deadly Poison.
Arguably an upset victory for real Raptor. And as you said, pimpkarp, like, which one is the cooler pimpkarp at this point?
I don't know. Maybe the cooler pimpkarp is the one that plays our budget decks.
It seems to work better.
It does. It does seem like it better.
No,
Raptor seems real this time. He said he said before the tournament he was going to draw to a high roller again. He did. Drew a big name, but he won. So big upset win, and maybe we have to keep talking about Raptor a little bit. He's going to meet his next challenge, by the way, in the second round. He's playing Ked. So not an easy tree for Raptor to climb, but he did get his win, get the monkey off his back, and he's in the tournament. He's still going. So congrats to Raptor. We're looking forward to see what's up next. So it's Raptor versus Ked. Going to be a high-class match, too, as it looks. He's got he's bringing some real punches, so thanks, pimpkarp, for playing. Obviously, you're still in it on the European side. Who would have expected that? But that's why I take 2 chances.
Watch pimpkarp somehow become the European champion this time around.
Dude, that would be crazy. First person to win both.
Oh, yeah.
That would be funny, actually. But we'll see what happens. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and be sure to check out more of the tournament games that are coming up. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of those, subscribe to the channel. Join our Discord server, link in the description, and you can find all the players there, all the scheduling and stuff. So we'll see you in the next one, and JJ.
That's it.
That's it.